You're talking about Norway as being a sports powerhouse, but you said that Norway doesn't basically have any youth sports culture the way we have it here. Like they're not tracking score. They're like that. It's just chill for kids. So that seems like not how it's supposed to go. So walk me through that.
Absolutely. So if you look at the U.S. culture, what it is all achievement
Yeah.
focused, and then like elite focused, meaning how do we find the talent, like specialize them early,
Put them in the best
put
leagues.
them in the best everything
Yeah.
so that they come out on top.
Yeah.
Norway is the opposite. I think there's no keeping score before a certain age.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a trophy, regardless of winning or losing. There's no national competitions until I think it's over 13 or 14.
Okay.
Meaning everything's like
Yeah,
local
just for fun. Yeah.
rec league for fun, right?
Yeah.
No travel teams, none of that stuff. Their motto is fun for all. Okay.
Yeah.
They are enormously successful at the elite level. And we're talking winter sports, obviously, but also, summer sports as well. They have a number of athletes who are the best in the world. And you'd think like, well, how does that youth model support elite development?
Yeah.
But what it does, and it comes back to the things we talked about earlier, is that model, it supports intrinsic motivation,
Yes.
meaning you're developing a love for the sport as a whole. It keeps more people in it. So one of the things
Right. So you're not quitting at 9.
the U.S. model is horrible. I forget the exact stat, but it's something like of everybody who plays youth sport, 70+% of them have quit by the age of like 12.
Yeah, because the parents have sucked the fun out of it, and they've been made to think that they don't have what it takes. So why keep doing it?
And one of the things that we know from Talent ID is that how you did at 10 does not translate or predict how you're going to do at 20.
Sometimes it does when you're a prodigy, but if you're not a prodigy, it hasn't even begun. Your signs of being good at it have not even begun to emerge.
Especially for young boys, because they haven't even hit like full puberty, which differs for everything.
Right, sure.
So when we look at those models, what we see is the U.S. model is like a survive model.
Yeah.
And we still do well, but that's mainly because we have a lot of people who play sports in a huge population, and we emphasize it. So like the people who survive are still going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Norway has a tiny population, so they have to like maximize, who they have.
During COVID, they talked about invisible graveyards, which is a concept I think about all the time. Just like things that didn't make it, people that didn't make it, ideas that didn't make it. And so, to think about we're not thinking about all the late bloomers.
Yeah.
And by late bloomers, we mean like your freshman year of high school.
Yeah, right.
But all those people that burned out before they even got started, or because all sports and all sport wasn't created equal, they thought they didn't like sports, but really they just didn't have the freedom to find the sport that they did like.
Yeah.
Right. Because they thought they hate sports generally, but actually they hate tennis, and they were really meant to do X, Y, or Z. So creating that sort of safer place where you can experiment and develop, and even, I think, develop your sense of yourself as a person who likes and has fun doing athletic activities. There's just, we're not thinking about all the athletes that we prevented from being athletes.
Absolutely. And if you look at the data at who actually makes it across elite sports, whether professional, soccer, football, Olympics, etc., is for the most part, it shows that those two finally make it. There are exceptions, but for the most part, during their youth, they specialized later.
Yeah.
They explored more. They had more what we call like non-organized play.
Yeah.
Meaning you go play in the sandlot, or you get your friends together and play in the street. Versus those who, again, came a couple rungs short but didn't make the professionals, tended to specialize earlier, have more structured time, etc. And I think it comes back to that same thing that we're just talking about, is we need to develop the ingredients. And then also, if you develop those ingredients, intrinsic motivation, joy, exploration, so you can find your sport that you like, then it translates over. And I would argue that, and I kind of do in the book, but the same thing applies to other things.
Sure.
If we narrow too quickly, then we don't see the possibilities, right?
No, this is why I think David Epstein's book Range is a parenting book in disguise.
Absolutely.